In 2017, the most controversial wheel brand I could talk about would have been XXR. Then it was ESR, then SSR, then it was Vossen, then it was Work, and now it seems to be Apex, a brand that 110% has become one of the most popular wheel brands for BMW, Audi, and grassroots motorsport enthusiasts. And ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about it. Because in today's video, we're gonna be breaking down Apex wheel models, how their actual naming structure works, because it is a little confusing, if they're actually worth it, why are they so controversial depending on who you ask, and if you should believe them, and finally, what are 3 reasons you'd buy them, and 2 reasons why you wouldn't. Welcome to the Ultimate Buyer's Guide on Apex Wheels, baby. Welcome to MartiniWorks, and if you're looking for wheels, wheel and tire packages delivered right to your door so you can skip the tire shop where they judge the crap out of you, or performance parts for your builds, you can mod your car with your friends at MartiniWorks with a lifetime order support and of course the lowest prices on the internet. Wow, let's get started. Breaking down Apex wheel models. Okay, so as of this video, Apex Wheels has a Flowform line which hosts their Flowformed Evolution line and their Flowform Classic line. Then they have a Forged wheel line that has the Forged Sprint line, the Forged Touring line, and the Forged Enduro line underneath the model of website wheels. Now, the 18-year-old company that was founded way back in 2007 started with the ARC8. It's their most popular wheel still to date and their most affordable wheel to date. That is slated in their Flowform Classic line next to the EC7, which is more kind of the same, but with a more slightly rounded spoke design with slightly different finish options. In the Flowformed Evolution line, you have the SM10 and the VS5, which are their Flowformed versions of their forged variants, the SM10RS and VS5RS. The SM10 and VS5 are both pretty bang-on wheels that give you everything you'd want from a Flowform wheels, plus some sauce that you can't really get anywhere else. And this is where the value propositions of a wheel brand begin, because some of those things include, number 1, side spoke milling to reduce weight without losing strength. It also looks pretty cool. Number 2, a reinforced inner lip design for when that E36 builder smacks a curb drop for the very first time. Holds up, doesn't bend, very nice. Number 3, multi-profile molds that give people like you and people like me more concavity on spoke design that retains the big brake clearance we all need without going up in diameter, which is actually great because their 18-inch SM10 can accommodate up to a 380mm brake system due to their optimized drop well design and flat barrel. This is important, especially if you're putting big brakes on a race car. You don't want to have big wheels to do it. The bigger the wheel, the heavier it is, the more expensive the tires, and you don't want to do that. If you can fit a big brake in a small wheel diameter wheel, that is a win. And that's the big thing with Apex wheels right off of the gate, is their attention to detail and stuff like that that really tries to cater to more of the functionality side of things rather than the aesthetic look of things. That 380mm brake system is very nice. It also works really, really great for the E36, E46 chassis. Now, you can say that the SM10 and the VS5 might not be as good as the forged wheels, but there's a fun fact there too, because they're only about 2 to 2.5 pounds more than their forged counterpart. And their forged wheels are substantially more expensive. And with all of this, you also get a paint finish that's a multi-stage paint. It's a powder-coated base, and with a clear over it, the finish is nice and holds up pretty well. Then on the forged line, we have the Forged Sprint line, their lightest forged line humanly possible. They have the Touring line, which is a bit more of like a stylistic forged line, and then their Enduro line, which is their highest load-rated wheel with their thickest inner lip for endurance racing. It's pretty much the heaviest, but it's the strongest. The forged lineup is where most of Apex is known for, and quite transparently, it's where I think they do some of their best work. You get wide fitments, you get really nice concavity, solid brake applications, and because they offer both a lightweight and enduro lineup, you get an option that allows you to either get something that's the lightest wheel possible or the strongest possible. 2 different demographics and 2 different purposes. But are Apexes actually better, or is it all just data nerd marketing? We sell Apex, so transparently, we'll always have a bias to talk about it and talk about it well. But I also have always promised you that I'd be transparent. After all, the world has enough get-rich-quick schemes and crummy marketing influencers try to get you to buy something off of TikTok. So we're just gonna get you down into the dirty. Wrong phrasing. Apex Wheels has 3 really strong things going for them. The first is their commitment to their market. When you design wheels, you can actually buy brake data. When I designed some for myself, we used to buy those designs. It was about $300 or so per schematic, and is what it allowed us to make sure our wheel designs would fit certain calipers. The best way to think about why this matters to you is if you're trying to make a 20-inch wheel for a GTR fitment, you would kind of need to know how big the brakes are. And if you try to do that on a 20x9, the fitment for that brake in that wheel can get very, very tight. Apex prides themselves on being able to do a lot of that work plus more. They scan loads of calipers to verify fitment and ensure wheel molds work for upcoming platforms. They also work with brake companies to provide them with the same schematics on the kit conversion side to confirm fitments, which they then provide to us to help folks with finding the right set of wheels. And this isn't something that you have to do, especially as a wheel company. It's something that they choose to do, and it's nice. It's probably one of the main reasons why Apex is a properly good brand, because they care about you knowing everything possible. Kind of like us, they're big data nerds. And I like that. The second biggest thing going for them is their capital commitment to their inventory, which is a really boring way to say that they have a ton of stock and they spend a lot of money on different molds. Most, if not all, of Apex wheels feature 3 different concavity profiles at a minimum, and even on their Flowform lineup, which is an expensive cookie to eat, I enjoy that. Now in the Forged line, it's a little bit easier to have multiple concavities because the MOQs are smaller and the amount of specificity is typically easier, but some new forging companies don't even do this, and it's nice to see that they do. And the biggest thing has to be their die on the hill mentality. It's this thing that they have towards proving that their technology is better and at least different than others. Load rating is a big one because they truly build their wheels around the actual requirements of that certification, and then layer in a value proposition of going above the load rating requirements to say not only are our wheels light, they're also technically stronger than everything else. And load rating is the truest testament for someone like us to say that a wheel is technically stronger. After all, it's by definition the scale of which a wheel can handle the weight of a corner of your car. Wheels like the RPF1 have gotten to ridiculously low wheel weights by having ridiculously low load ratings. Good for shaving weight, bad for long-term racing. So you've got a stronger wheel that they then back up with their 50% replacement program, a warranty program, and resources that are chock full of information that we get to share with you so that you know that you're getting good wheels. How can something like that even be controversial? Well, when you type in Apex wheels, one of the most common searches is going to be after that is the word Alibaba. And unlike other wheel designs where people have transparently say, I bought E88 reps, they'll say, I bought Apex Alibaba VS5s, as if they were the same exact thing, which they aren't. Yes, Apex wheels are manufactured in China, but that doesn't mean that they got sourced from Alibaba. I don't know how this even happened. The quality of any part from any part in the world depends on 2 big things. Number 1, quality assurance on the design. Number 2, quality control when production continues. And on our side, we've had 0 issues with Apex wheels with any of our customers. The 50% replacement plan, that program works great for people who drive their car, and their commitment to making things clear for someone to understand is worth something. Now, the independent testing is also nice. In fact, I think they're actually located in Michigan. And they also go through the actual JWL and VIA testing. It speaks highly to how they care about the things that they make. But at the end of the day, anyone can stamp that on a wheel mold just like anyone can say that their wheels are TUV certified, even though a quick search would prove that they're not. If you need a reason to not think Apex is for you, I wouldn't really use the Alibaba argument as one, because I don't think that's ultimately the type of consumer that Apex is really after. You're just trying to save as much money as you can. And even if it was, the origination of the load rating decision, the profile decision, concavity decision, design decision, lateral strength spoke decisions, and all the stuff that came in terms of making Apex who it is, came from Apex first, not the factory. You have to remember wheel factories are only gonna make what they're told, and people seem to forget that. And if you have companies making replicas of certain designs, you're almost always gonna find some cost-cutting measures in there. It's why if I ever see any of those brands selling work reps, I'm gonna cry. So what's the 3 reasons you'd buy Apex and 2 reasons why you might not? Number 1, I think Apexes are one of the best platform wheels for grassroots racing, like hands down. They have incredible fitments, solid finishes, great warranty. They also don't try to like overtly only focus on making things light. Like they understand the nature of racing is bashing on wheels. So making them stronger kind of gives people a sense of confidence, and they talk about something that not a lot of other companies do, which is load rating. Number 2, dollar for dollar, they are pretty solid. Apex forged wheels aren't inherently cheap, but they're more affordable than some of the competition, which is mainly being BBS, which are about 40% more expensive and way, way, way harder to actually get. And number 3, they're active. I say this because of the overseas talk and people's natural hatred towards anyone thinking that China equals bad, because it doesn't. But being active in motorsports, in the motorsport space and the grassroots space, and being involved in that in different kinds of racing is what breeds ideas that make it into these wheels. If they didn't, Apex wouldn't be as popular as it is. They wouldn't have had the value propositions that they do, and they wouldn't have an audience trying to build them for cheaper. They've done a properly good job making a brand that a lot of people want to have. But there are some reasons that Apex might not be for you. Number one, if you're big on design, you'll notice that their designs do carry influence from the European brands like BBS. It's not a dig. It is just the truth. I've asked them about this because of who I am as a human being, and the team says that they make them as unique as they can visually, but functionality is functionality, and the best and strongest wheels are typically formulated off the same key designs. 6 and 8 spokes, Y spokes, deep pocket lugs are all commonalities in some of the best functional wheels that you can buy on the market. That said, I'd still egg them on to try their hand on making something design-oriented that's original from their team, as I think they could make something kind of killer. And number two, I think you'd prefer a different brand if you don't plan to use the wheels as their intended purpose. Apex to me is a bit like a Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2. The Cup 2 is probably one of the best tires for motorsport use in a generality in the world of street cars. They're just near impossible to beat when you look at all the things it can do. That said, if you buy it and you daily on a set of CS2s on the road, you're going to experience a lot of tire noise, rocks chipping your bumper, and the fact that if you fly into a wall when they're cold and you're driving on an off-ramp hard, you're going to blame the tires for not being grippy. Apex wheels is valuable when you value the technology and design they put into their wheels. If you don't, then you're overspending for a wheel that you never plan to use. And at MartiniWorks, we're big on making sure you modify your car the right way. And Apex wheels are one of the top brands we recommend on the wheel side because of their commitment to functionality, even though they dig at fashion wheels. Sometimes. I love my fashion wheels. But buying something and never using it is almost always a waste, and your money would be better spent on something like either a flow-formed or even a low-pressure cast wheel, and spending more money on tires and coilovers if you don't plan to use the Apex wheels for Apex wheels reasons. But Apex wheels does get the green check. They're a brand that you can hold accountable, and their wheels truly are going through the paces in a way that makes me feel like they're doing it right. And we like that, which means if you're looking to pick up a set of Apex wheels, we highly recommend that you snag them at MartiniWorks.com. We'd be happy to help you with figuring out what exactly fits your car. And of course, if you have any questions transparently, we'd be open to answering them. There's a lot of people that still have questions about the brand. And I love the fact that Apex wheels is challenging that very thing. It makes it really fun because we get to see both sides. But at the end of the day, I'm saying it again, I think they're pretty bang on. I'm Alex Martini with 2 underscores on Instagram, and if you have any questions, drop them below. We hope you subscribe, so then that way we can see you tomorrow. What a weird way to end a video.